Hello and welcome to Opinions Plus. This may be one of my shorter clips, but I'm not too sure to see how it goes. But the the subject today is about a person, Cassidy Hutchinson. I've talked a little bit about leadership over the course of these year or so, and she is not a leader in the true sense of the word, I guess you'd say. She's not leading anything. She's not in control of anything. Um, but those who don't know, she was an assistant to Mark Meadows, chief of staff of Trump, and she was testifying before the subcommittee or the hearing, January 6th subcommittee, on the horrible events of January 6th, the insurrection. Some people say it's an insurrection. Some people try to make it some kind of a stupid, crazy tourist day mentality. People will spin anything. You've got to have truth in your life. You've got to have it. And today's world, people are living in a bloody, daydream. Anyway, this brings me back to Cassidy Hutchinson. She was just doing her job. She was a Republican, had some responsibilities in a variety of ways, and she saw what was going on, and she testified to it. Initially, she lied. She said she lied. She was told to lie by the attorneys from Mr. Trump and the committees that sponsor him, who pay for these guys. And they said, okay, is it a lie if you don't remember? Well, if you remember and you saying you don't remember, that's a lie. But nobody gives a damn. These people don't care. You may care. You don't want your children to say that to you. You don't want to say that to anybody. But that's what they do, and it's okay. They even offered this woman a job. She ended up being almost destitute. She got picked herself up by the bootstraps. Some people helped her, and she wrote a book called Enough. And in it, she talks about she's going to her father. Father is supposed to support his daughter, so at least give her some latitude, some understanding, some compassion, some empathy. This clown says what? You're not Donald Trump's here to help you, and you're going to testify against him? Threw the subpoena in the trash can. Who cares? You're just no good. You should have been better. And she goes, where the hell were you in my life? In her mind, she said that. Read the book. But this little clip is to say that woman is a leader. She's a hero or heroine. I don't know if heroine is the word of the month today. But you girls and women should look to this person, mid-20s, terrible responsibility, terrible pressures. She did what is right. She looked in the mirror and said, I got to do what's right. How many of these creeps are doing what's right? Are you going to tell me they are? You think Trump is saying the truth? You think that whole crowd is saying the truth? Come on. You know they're not. Everybody's against him. The whole world's against him. Why? Because he's a criminal, a con man? Because he's gripped his people? Because 75 million or so people say, okay, Trumpy, I can't afford, to buy cigarettes or go to visit my grandchildren, but I can give you 50, $100. Why? To spend on his radical lawyering? You got to be kidding me, people. The guy's supposed to be a billionaire, now lost his whole New York franchise up there because of his grift. People say, oh, no, he didn't do it. All right, all that stuff. Fraud is fraud is fraud. The guy has shown he's a fraudster. He pays off porn stars, checks out all this stuff, and you're going to support this kind of stuff? Come on. No way, Jose. Cassidy Hutchinson stood up to the power. And she was on a couple of these night shows and just listening to her. Decent human being. Somebody you should emulate. Let your children see these clips. See what she is. Think about it. Use your critical thinking and validate what she's saying. Do it because it's important. She is a heroine. She is one of the heroes. I don't know, again, I don't know if heroine's the key word or not today, but things are changing. Society is changing. It is. But the morals, the basis, the standards should be the same. Goodness, trust, integrity, honesty. You take an oath, you live by the oath. You can if you do. It's just the way it should be. But what are we doing? We're allowing people like Trump and all his minions to say and do whatever the hell they want. No consequence, no nothing. That's wrong. There has to be consequences. The poor black man going to prison, he only has one rep, and you don't know how good he is. You don't know, just like going to the doctors. You go to see a PA or an RN or a doctor, you don't even know how good they are. You just have a certain amount of trust that you have to give them. But in these cases, these people don't have much option. They don't have any money. They don't have any resources. Trump can string this stuff out forever. That's what he's done in the past. We'll do it again. He's got coin. People are funding it. The big shots are against him. He's not getting the big donors. There's all this billionaire crap that's going on. Don't think it's not a conspiracy. There is conspiracy out there, as my daughter has told me many times. And I've argued against some of the length or depth of these conspiracies. But these money people are few. They have power. They have power. Don't underestimate their power. And this woman who had nothing, just an underling in a huge bureaucracy, stood up and did what's right. If more people would do that, for gosh sakes, what a better world we would be in. You don't think so? I do. I just think that she's, something all women, girls, anybody who has seen or reached some level of awareness should check her out. Find out what she's about. All these things about, what she had to deal with and ignored. She was honest about it. She, I was in government. I was in, mid management. But it was, there's pressures. There's pressures. And she had tremendous pressure. Yet she stood above it. Now that's somebody who needs to be supported. That's somebody who should be emulated. You cannot go back and understand everything in her book or everything she said. You can't verify all the facts. Nobody can do that. You can't verify half the facts that people are regurgitating out there supporting this indicted clown. I did my best not, but this man is a danger to the society. And the people that support this stuff is a danger. Democracy. Do you believe in it or not? Well, Cassidy Hutchinson does. And so should you, so should I. It's our Constitution. Now, you also have a right to disagree with it. That's part of democracy. But think of the consequences of putting a clown like that back in power, or any of these people. Look what Putin did. Was he always a bad guy? Was he always a killer? Well, he did kill. He ordered killing, just like, that North Korean dictator, Ko Ji-min, or whatever his name is. He's a killer. He's a killer. Come on, people, wake up. Oh, it's okay. People kill. Of course they do. Presidents have power. CIA has power. There's people, there's a finger behind every gun, and all I have to do is pull a trigger or stick a needle in somebody or whatever, poison somebody with radioactive material. There are killers out there. Don't be naive. There's badness out there. But there's goodness out there too. And Cassidy Hutchinson is one of those examples of somebody who's a stalwart because she had nothing to gain, no money, There was no money to gain. These other people who are doing what's right or whatever, you wonder if they're just doing it for the money or the whatever play it is. But at least they're doing something for the good, for the benefit of society, not just tearing it down and saying, I'm going to do something for you, chump. I'm going to do something for you. They haven't done a damn thing for you, and you know it. There's nothing that they've done except supports your fears. And that's what Cassidy Hutchinson is railing against. Be honest with yourselves. Is it just fear that you're afraid of the future? Is that why you're siding with somebody like Trump? And if you're against him, you're dealing with the honest interpretation of what these facts are and the situation in our country and our society and across the world, for crying out loud. This is nothing new. It's just new to America. But there's always been bad guys. There's always been, good guys. It's just the way people are. But wake up and do something. Get your sense of honor back. Get your sense of integrity back. Because when I listen to many of these people, these pundits on the so-called right, which I don't understand why it's even called right, it's certainly not conservatism, certainly not Christianity. Come on! Anybody who believes that hitting people and demeaning people and telling them to kill their general, their chief of staff, and, is a Christian? Are you kidding me? Come on. Stop it. Stop it. Listen to people like Cassidy Hutchinson. Listen to her. She's an honest person who's trying to do what's right. Maybe she made wrong decisions. You don't know. Nobody knows. You'll find out later, I guess. But you have to make decisions of going to the good. Keeping hope alive and going to the good. Honor your oath. Honor your word. That's basically it. I think she's a hero. And I hope that, you listen to her. It doesn't take much, not in today's world, to determine who you're going to promote and who you're not. Because there's not enough information out there to really support anybody. You have to look at their character, what they show as their character. It's important. Anyway, thanks for listening. Let's keep hope alive. Go to the good. Always go to the good. You know what it is, so go to the good. If you like what you hear, if you think it has some value, subscribe and hit the like button and, forward the link on to others. These thoughts are my thoughts. They're opinions. Share it in the comments. Maybe one or two people will listen to it. I hope the viewership grows. It's been kind of low, but maybe I'll hit a nerve somewhere and somebody will say, okay, we'll pass it on. Okay, take care. Thanks for listening.